In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how I find and edit the video ads for my dropshipping stores, which one of them, as you can see, last month in just 20 days did over 200,000 euros. Let me refresh. And it is a lot simpler than you think. Let me show you. As you can see with this product, the decompression belt, we did over 200,000 euros in revenue, and the exact winning video ad that we used, we will edit together from scratch in this video. Now in 2025, to make the most money with dropshipping, you want to use Facebook ads. There's people talking about TikTok ads, TikTok organic, Google ads, Pinterest, whatever it is. If you want to sell to older people, if you want to sell health and beauty products, the easiest and the best way to scale as high as possible is using Facebook ads, even in 2025, and especially if you target EU markets. So we did both of these things for this product. We advertise on Facebook ads and we ran it in an EU market, more specifically Germany. Now, how are we going to actually make and edit this video? Let me show you. It is insanely simple. All you want to do is go to the website veed.io. Then you want to click on create new project. And after downloading the ad from Minia or from wherever you have found your ad, you just want to drag it in here. And there's two things that we are going to do. First of all, we are going to add German subtitles. Now, I do not speak a word German, but that is not necessary. I'm going to show you in a minute how I translate as effectively as possible. And secondly, we are also going to be adding a text-to-speech voice talking about this product. Let's do it together. And by the way, at the end of this video, you will get the exact product page / funnel template that I used for this decompression belt and scaled to more than 200,000 euros in a couple months. So make sure you keep watching until the end. But to edit this ad, it is incredibly simple. The first thing I'm going to do is click on subtitles, and veed.io has this incredibly good function that allows you to just make subtitles of whatever is being spoken in the background. Now, we are pretty lucky with this ad because let me just play this ad really quickly.
If I told you there's a way to manage back pain and hope, this belt uses decompression and...
As you can hear, this ad not only has subtitles by itself, but there's also already an English text-to-speech voice in the background that matches the subtitles exactly. So the only thing we have to do with this particular ad is click on auto subtitle in English. This will take a few seconds. And boom, there we go. We now have the subtitles. Let me actually put on my headset for this because I'm gonna have to hear what is being spoken. But if we now play the video.
If I told you there's a way to manage back pain and hope, this belt uses decompression and traction therapies to help ease lower back.
You can see that these subtitles match exactly with what is being spoken in the background. Now, what are we going to do next? We are actually going to translate these subtitles into German. And again, this is where the power of veed.io comes in. You just click here on the language, then you click on add translation, and then you will just type in German, Deutsch, translate automatically. And now in 1 second, all of these subtitles have been translated. It's actually insane. What we're now going to do is we're going to create the text-to-speech voice in the background and make sure that it is also translated in German. And then we are going to make sure that that voice matches with the subtitles, because that can get a little tricky. Let me show you how I do it. What you want to do for that is you want to click on the subtitles tab right here and click on download the subtitles as a TXT format. Then I'm gonna just open this up. Let's extract and let's open up this text file. So now I have a text file. Let me open this one up. And as you can see, now I have the subtitles in a text file. So I can now copy paste this. I'm going to remove these timestamps. There we go. So now I have the entire text. I'm going to click Ctrl A, Ctrl C to copy. And what I'm gonna do now is go to audio, click on text to speech, and I'm gonna paste the text right here. Select the language Germany and make sure that I selected the right voice.
Was wäre, wenn ich Ihnen sagen würde, dass es...
This sounds like the right voice. It sounds like a professional doctor's voice. And let's click on generate. So now we have the subtitles over here and the text-to-speech over here. What we now have to do is make sure that the text-to-speech, first of all, is way shorter because it is, as you can see, way too slow. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna maybe change the speed right here to 1.25. Click on regenerate and let's see what happens. It is a lot shorter, but not short enough yet. So we might have to increase the speed even higher, maybe 1.4. All right, let's see. Let's just keep it at that and see what we can play with, because maybe the text-to-speech right now is completely fucked. First of all, I'm going to go back to the original video and put the audio on 0%. And now we can see if our background text-to-speech voice will match with the subtitles.
Was wäre, wenn ich Ihnen sagen würde, dass es ein Lied gibt, Rückenschmerzen zu
Okay, so the text-to-speech is actually a little bit too fast now, in my opinion. So I'm going to put it back to 1.3, regenerate. And as you can see, the text-to-speech is still way longer than the entire video itself, but that's probably because we're gonna have to make some cuts. So let's do that together. And let's now make sure that our subtitles match the text-to-speech. So what I'm doing now is I am listening to the text-to-speech and I'm making sure that my subtitles match with when the voice is saying the exact words. Now I don't speak German, but I do kinda understand the pronunciation of these words. It's not that hard, you have to use some of your brain. Some languages, however, like Swedish or Finnish, are super hard to understand and to match then yourself with the text-to-speech. So what I would then do is just guess. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if the voice and the text on screen is all over the place and has some errors in it. The video itself, without any text or without any extra information, just the visuals of the video are supposed to trigger the emotions in the viewer on Facebook. And that's how 99% of people will click through. The subtitles and the text are just an extra to perfect the video and to make sure that everybody feels like it is a local brand in the country that they're from. That is why we're doing it. So it doesn't matter if there are a bunch of errors in it. So let's continue.
Wäre, wenn ich Ihnen sagen würde, dass es einen Beat gibt, Rücken.
Okay, so these subtitles have to move a little bit.
Dass es einen Beat gibt, Rückenschmerzen zu behandeln und zu halten. Dieser wird zu halten.
As you can hear, there's a silent space in the text-to-speech voice. So what we're going to do in this silent space is we're going to cut it. And that is exactly why the text-to-speech is way longer than the video itself. Let's see if we can cut the silent part out. It's super easy. Just click on the text-to-speech itself and let's replay it.
Und zu halten.
Then whenever it stops, you want to click on S. Now it's going to ask you to convert to audio. This means we cannot play with the text-to-speech settings anymore after that. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to cut it. So I'm going to click yes, continue. As you can see, I selected it. I clicked S on the exact moment where the silence begins.
Dieser wird.
And where the silence ends, I'm going to click S again on my keyboard. And then I have this little silent part in between where I can click delete. And now the silent part is completely deleted and I can drag my text-to-speech over here. Let's click play to listen.
Zu halten. Dieser Gürtel nutzt die
This is absolutely perfect. Now let's keep matching it with the subtitles. There's another silence right here, so let's do the same thing. This is so easy. You can literally edit an entire video ad in just 5 minutes. And again, we're not really editing it, we're just translating it. Because that is all we want to do with these ads if you want to run in EU markets. This is exactly what I did to scale to these numbers. So don't get caught into the next AI way of editing your ads, AI UGC, actual UGC. This is all completely unnecessary if you just want to test out the product and scale it in an EU market. But let's continue editing these ads. There's another silence right here that we have to cut. There we go. Okay, here the subtitle has to start a little bit later, and then this one is way too long. This one has to start earlier. Then there's another silence that we have to cut. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to match the subtitles with the audio myself, and I'll get back to you when that's finished, because we still have to make sure that these subtitles look good. As you can see, it is now just text on a screen. It is very important that we cover up the old subtitles and make sure that these subtitles look good. So I'll see you in half a second. So now that we have synced the audio with the subtitles, let's make sure that these subtitles actually look good. So what we're going to do first is we're going to add a rectangle. We can click on elements right here, and then just click on shapes, view all, and let's just copy this normal rectangle right here. Obviously the color red would look extremely bad, so I'm going to maybe take some blue color like this. Let's drag it behind the subtitles, and let's make sure that this is a little bit bigger. And the most important part here is that we cover up the old subtitles. So let's click on the rectangle again and drag it down. So the old subtitles are covered up, and then we can click on our own subtitles and drag it down as well, right here like this. Now let's click back on the rectangle and let's make it a little bit less ugly. I think lighter blue is going to be better. Something like this is fine. Let's remove the outline completely by clicking here. Then that's it for the rectangle itself. Now, as you can see, this rectangle here, we can just drag all the way until the end of the subtitles in our video. Now let's just play it and see if everything looks fine. Okay, so here we can see that the subtitles are actually a little bit too big. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the rectangle bigger. You can also choose to make the subtitles smaller. In this case, the subtitles take up a very small part of the video, so I choose to make the rectangle bigger instead. Let's continue. Okay, so this right here, we need to make sure that our subtitles are never bigger than the rectangle itself. So let's change that like this. You can also choose right here to split the subtitle. Instead of being 3 lines, will be 2 separate subtitles. I'm just gonna choose to resize the subtitles altogether. It does change the size of all the subtitles, but it doesn't really matter. It's still big enough. This is literally it, guys. And you might think that this looks like dog shit, which I agree with. But believe me, this works on Facebook ads. Remember who you're targeting. It is not you who is going to be scrolling on Facebook ads and looking at this back brace belt to buy for yourself. It's going to be old grannies and granddads that have pain in their back, who have no idea of what a modern ad actually looks like. This is what makes this whole strategy so easy. A child can literally edit this video. Now what we're still gonna have to do is at the end, there's a call to action, as you can see.
Lassen Sie nicht länger zu, dass Rückenschmerzen Ihr Leben bestimmen.
Of course, you want to change this to your own website. So what you would do is you would click on elements, you would add a bar or a rectangle, on top of this, like that. You would make it white so it blends in with the background. You can also click this pencil right here and make sure it's the exact same white as the background. Boom. Then you remove the line around the rectangle like that. And then as you can see, it is completely invisible, the text. So now you can put a text layer right on top of this and put the name of your own website or your own call to action, like jetzt einkaufen or something like that. That's German for buy now. And then right here you would put your website. And that's literally it. It is as simple as that. Now we have the entire ad. Let me just copy this shape, cover up this thing as well. And let's add right here some text. SamuelEcom.com, buy your back brace belt right now. As an example, of course. I do not actually sell this on this website. But this would be the edit of the entire ad. And I know that this might sound too good to be true because it is super easy. We created this ad literally in 5 minutes. All we did is we copy pasted whatever our competitor was scaling, translated it into an EU language for whatever market we choose to sell in. I chose Germany for this one. And this ad is now ready and complete to launch on Facebook ads. Now I would still make sure to find 2 other ads exactly like this and do exactly the same. So you have 3 ads in total to test. Now as a beginner dropshipper, it is incredibly important that you test as fast and as cheaply as possible, which is exactly why we're not going to use any of these AI or UGC things. We're just going to copy paste, translate and test it out on Facebook ads because you don't have the money and you don't have the time, which is even more important, to do all that shit. Now, if you want to know how to actually properly set up your Facebook campaign and if you want to know how to properly set up your website, of course, first of all, the template of this decompression belt funnel page is in the description below. And secondly, I have a full free course which is also down below, which talks about my entire funnel dropshipping strategy, which is the strategy that I use today to generate me results like this. And again, the course is free, so make sure you actually lose it so you're not wasting money on trying the wrong strategy. There's absolutely no more excuse to fail now, and I hope to see you in the next video.